Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So today we're going to discuss about iterative control statements. So in the previous class we discussed about decision control statements like if, else, if else, nested if. So we already discussed in the previous video. So today we're going to discuss about iterative control statements. So what are iterative control statements? So nothing but loops, iterative loops like while loop, for loop, nested loop. Okay, so we'll cover in this video with examples and practically. Okay, so while loop. So what is while loop? So while test expression, so we'll check the condition. Okay, so one second. So we'll check the test expression. If that is true, we'll execute statements. If that is false, we'll exit while loop. Okay, so while a condition will be checked. If that is true, statements will be executed, and it's a repetitive process until all the conditions get satisfied. When it is false, we'll exit from the while loop. Okay, so at first the condition of while loop is tested, and if it's true, then associated statements are executed. Okay, so in the previous example we discussed about if, right? So after if condition we used a colon. So same thing is applied for while, for everything. Okay, so while condition colon, in Python a colon is mandatory after declaring while statement. Okay, so statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, and else part. And remember, we have else part in while. Okay, so but we don't. We have else part in if. We already know that. So that is applied to C programming as well. But in C programming, we don't have while else part for while and for. Okay, but in Python we have an else part. So it's an optional else, but we can use it. So we have an else part in while loop as well as for loop. Okay. So statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 are executed. In Python, a block of statements are associated with an if, elif, or else statement or while loop using indentation. So indentation strictly followed in Python. Okay, else statement 4. So an optional else statement associated with the while loop. Okay, so let's see an example here. So counter equal to 1. While counter less than or equal to 5, print hello world, counter plus equal to 1. Okay, so what exactly happens here? So how many times this hello world will be printed? So you can see another example, a equal to 3, while a greater than 0. Okay, so a greater than 0, first 3 greater than 0, print a. So 3 will be printed. Next a minus equal to 1. Okay, so a equal to a minus 1, and now it will be 2. 2 greater than 0, print 2 will be printed. 1 greater than 0, 2 will be printed. Now 0 greater than 0, false. So we'll come to the else part. So now reached 0. Okay, so let's execute this. So a equal to 3 while a greater than 0. Okay, so print a. Okay, so a minus equal to 1. Okay, so a equal to a minus 1. So if we execute this, what happens? So 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we'll use the else part. Okay, so else print reached 0. Okay, so if we execute this, so 3, 2, 1. After that, the condition will be false, and we come to else part. So else part is optional in Python, but we can use it. Okay, so print reached 0. So after that, we will reach 0. So next to that, we have counter equal to 1, while counter less than or equal to 5, print hello world. Okay. While counter less than or equal to 5. So don't forget to put semicolon here. So colon is must. Okay. So 1 second. Okay. So while counter less than or equal to 5, print hello world. Okay, so after that, counter plus equal to 1. Okay, so we can write else part. So if you write, you can write. So or else you can leave it. Okay, so if you execute this, so what do we get? We get hello world 5 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first 1 less than or equal to 5, hello world will be printed. Next counter is incremented to 2, 2 less than or equal to 5, it is satisfied, the hello world will be printed. 3, it is satisfied. 4, it is satisfied, up to 5. Why? Because 5 less than or equal to 5, it is satisfied. Okay, so if we can also write else part print, so nothing is after or else after hello world. Okay, so after hello world, why? Because when all the conditions are satisfied, this print is after hello world is printed. Okay, so we can also write a equal to 1 while a less than 10, print a equal to a plus 1. Okay, so this is an example for while loop. So n equal to 5, so n greater than 0, print n equal to n minus 1. So again it will be checked. So once it is no, once it is false, we are printing blast off. So 5 will be printed, next 4 will be printed, 3 will be printed, 2 will be printed, 1 will be printed. After that, blast off will be printed, and later on 0 will be printed. So loops, repeated steps of iterative variables that change every time through a loop. Often these iteration variables go through a sequence of numbers. Okay, so we can allocate some number that is n equal to 5, and we can test the conditions. So an infinite loop. So when can we go to an infinite loop? So first we are saying n equal to 5 while n greater than 0, that is 5 greater than 0. Okay, so print lather, print rinse, print dry off. Okay, so what's wrong with this loop? So where is the end for this? We're saying 5 is always greater than 0. So what about the decrement of n? Okay, so when the condition will be false, why? Because we are saying that n is assigned with 5 and 5 is always greater than 0. So all these will be printed. Okay, so let's execute this. N equal to 5 while n greater than 0. Okay, print, what is it? Print ABC, print XYZ, print ABC. Okay, so after that, print dry off. So if I execute this, what do we get? So there you can see the output. It's not stopping. Why? Because it's infinite loop. Okay, it keeps on executing. It keeps on executing. Why? Because we have given a condition like 5 greater than 0. Okay, so it went to an infinite loop. Okay, so you can press Control C. Okay, so what we can do? Okay, so we can give Control C. Okay, so if you give Control C, this will be stopped. The infinite loop will be stopped. So remember, the infinite loop will be stopped by giving Control C. Okay, so by pressing Control C, you can see the error here, keyboard interrupt. So why? Because it's not stopping. Why? Because it went to an infinite loop. Okay, so so that's the reason. In order to stop that, we should press Control C from keyboard. Okay, right. Okay, and next is another example. So I'm giving count equal to 0 while count less than 9. Okay, the count is count plus 1. Print goodbye. Okay, the first is it will take 0 less than 9. It is true. Next 1, 2, 3 up to 8. But when it comes to 9 less than 9, it is false, right? So goodbye will be printed. Okay, so this is another example for using while. Okay. So the infinite loop. So that's what I said. I already showed you by executing an infinite loop. So see, infinite loop, and you need to use Control C to exit the program, and you will get a keyword interrupt. So here we are given var equal to 1 while var double equal to 1. So we have assigned var equal to 1. Here we are checking 1 double equal to 1. It's always true, right? Okay. So enter a number. You entered. Okay, so every time you will it will ask enter a number. You will enter. You entered something. Okay, so every time it will ask. Why? Because here we have assigned var equal to 1 and we are checking 1 double equal to 1. This is always true, and it goes to an infinite loop. Okay. So in order to come out of that loop, what I'm saying, we should press Control C to exit that program. Okay. So there is one more example. You can note it down. Program to add natural numbers up to 1 plus 2 plus 3, so on. So first we'll take enter n. Okay. We can also take directly like n equal to 10. So we should initialize sum and counter. Okay. So while I less than or equal to n, sum equal to sum plus I equal to I plus 1, we are updating the counter. Okay. So print the sum. The sum is okay. So first we'll take, or we can also directly enter from key output screen. So if you want to enter from output screen, we can we should write like this: n equal to int input enter n. Okay. So we should initialize the sum and the counter. Okay, and we'll check I less than or equal to n, the sum equal to sum plus I equal to I plus 1. Okay. So let's execute this. Okay. Okay. So first it will ask enter a number. So let me give 10. Okay. So the sum is 55. Okay. So how it will take? So first 0 plus 10. So next is now I becomes so sum equal to sum plus I. So 0 plus 1, it will be 1. Sum equal to 1. So I increments to 2 less than or equal to 10. So sum equal to, previously it was 1. So 1 plus 2, 3. Like that, it will go to 55. The sum is 55, like that. So first we are entering the value, entering a number from the output screen itself. So n equal to int input. So we are assigning sum equal to 0. So this is counter. Okay, so while I less than or equal to n, colon, so sum equal to sum plus I equal to I plus 1. The sum is sum, like that. So next is while loop with else. So that's what we already discussed. So this is an optional else block. So the else part is executed if the condition the while loop evaluates to false. Okay, so it's optional, so there's no need to give it, or else you can use it. So the while loop can be terminated with a break statement. So we'll discuss that later on. So counter equal to 0 while counter less than 3, print inside loop, counter equal to counter plus 1, else print inside loop. So first we're initializing with counter equal to 0. While counter less than 3 is 0 less than 3, so it will be printed. So counter gets incremented. Okay. So the else part, it will be printed as inside else. Okay. So let's execute this. Okay, so while counter less than 3, what happens? Print inside loop. Okay, so counter increment. So counter plus equal to 1. Okay, so else part, print outside loop. Okay, so if I execute this, so first it will print inside loop. Why? Because 0 less than 3 inside loop. Next 1 less than 3 inside loop. 2 less than 3 inside loop. Now coming when it is incremented, when it comes to 3, so 3 less than 3 it is false, and outside loop will be executed. So this is the use of else. Okay, right. Next is for loop. Okay, so after while loop, the most important loop is for loop. So for loop mainly takes a range. So what is range here? So let me execute here. Let me tell. So range contains three. Okay. So first is start. Okay. So start, start. Okay. So after start, we have a colon. So after start, we have stop. So the second one is stop. Okay. So after stop and final one is step. So let me show this. Okay. So for example, for I in range of, okay, for I in range of, here we have three values: start, colon, stop, colon, step. So I will explain what they are. So start. So start will always start with 0. Remember. So start will always start with 0. Okay, default. Okay, so by default. For example, if I say start equal to 2, so that means it will start with 2. Okay, now coming to stop. So stop, for example, if I say stop equal to 6, okay, remember the number which we are giving is excluded. Okay, so 6 will be excluded. So which one will be included? Up to 5 will be included. Okay, so for example, if I say like this, so if my range is 0, colon, 6, okay, that means I have not mentioned step here. So I have step. So let us assume. So 0 is to 6. So if my range is 0 is to 6, that means my start equal to 6, my stop equal to 5. Okay. So my stop equal to 5 in the sense I will exclude 6. Okay. So what does it, sorry, my start equal to 0, my stop equal to 5. So what does it mean? So 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Okay. So up to it should iterate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 will be excluded. Okay. So what about step? So here 0 to 1 there is 1. From 1 to 2 there is 1 step. From 2 to 3 there is 1 step. So for example, if I say step equal to 2, that means first I will get 0, later on 2, later on 4, later on 6, later on 8, like that. Okay, but default step is always equal to 1. For example, if I say 0 is to 6 is to 1. So what does it mean? Start equal to 0, stop equal to 5. That means even though it is 6, we should take up to 5. Okay, up to 5. So next step equal to 1. Okay, so what does it mean? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I should take up from 0 to 5. For example, in some cases they will give like this: for I in range only 6. What does it mean? Initially, by default, start is 0. They will not mention, but by default, start will be taken as 0. Okay, and range is 6 in the sense we should take up to 5. Okay, if they not give step, by default it is 1. So if I get if I give statement like this: for I in range of 6, we should take from 0 to 5. Okay, so be careful with that. Sometimes they will also mention step. For example, if they mention like this, for range 2 is to 6. So what does it mean? Starting from 2 to 6 is excluded, up to 5 is included. So 2 to 5. That means 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we should take up to this 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we should be careful. So the arguments present in the range are start, stop, step. Okay, so this is a range function. So iterating on list or similar construct, iterating on indices or of a list or similar construct, the else statement for loop. So we can also have an else statement for loop also. So for each item in sequence, so last item reach. If last item reach, exit the loop. If not yet reached, the body of for. Okay. So for loop range function. So that's what I said. So here we have three start, stop, step. So start, stop, step. So start is the lower bound included of the sequence defined. So what is the lower bound? 0. Stop is the upper bound excluded. So if you say 6, 6 is excluded. So up to 5. Okay. So next is step. The increment between each number in the sequence defined. Okay. So if step is not given, so the increment is obviously default 1. So for example, see the examples here. 1, 10, 2. What I said, the start is 1. The stop is 10 in the sense we should include up to 9. And that too, my step is 2 means. So first I will take 1. After that, 1 plus 2, 3. Next 3 plus 2, 5 like that. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So why I should take only up to 9? Why? Because 10 is excluded. So we should include up to 9. See, now 526. Okay. So what is 5? My start is 5. What is my stop? My stop is up to 19. Okay. 20 is excluded. Okay. So what is 6? So 5 plus 6, first 5 will be included. So 5 plus 6, 11 will be included. 11 plus 6, 17. So I should write up to 19, between the range 19. So 5, 11, 17, like that. So I can also take minus 3. So 14 is my starting. Okay. 4 in the sense I should minus 3. So 14 minus 3, 11. 11 minus 3, 8. 8 minus 3, 5. So up to range 4 I should take. Next is 0, 7, 1. So in this manner, I should go 0 to 7 means I should take up to 0 to 6. Why? Because 7 is excluded. Okay. For I in range of 5. So here start equal to 0, stop equal to 5, and step equal to 1. So print I, what happens? So let us see. For I in range 6. Okay, so print if I say I, so what will be printed here? So 0 to 5 will be printed. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Because 6 is excluded. Okay, so this is range. So for loop. So for where in iterable. So what is iterable here? Which iterates. So iterable can be, it's a object like a list, tuple, okay, dictionary. So whatever it is. So variable. So variable, it takes items from the iterable one by one. Okay. So indentation. So indentation is strictly maintained. So we have else part also. So why we use else part? If everything is false, we come to the we go to the else part, and else part is executed. So this is for loop. Okay. Is the last item of outer loop? If it is yes, end of the outer loop. If it is no, is the last segment for inner loop. Okay. So it will check. So if it is yes, it is go to the outer loop. If it is no, inner loop statements will be executed, and again it will be checked. So in this manner, it goes to the loops. So for loop example, so name equal to Python program using iterable. For C in name, print C comma end equal to. Okay. So or else you can see for I in range of 10, print I, else print reached else. So 0 to 9, once 0 to 9 is completed, so it will reach else. Okay. So here print using iterable for C in name. Okay. For C in name, print C end equal to. So print index numbers for I in range 0 comma len of name. So we can see the length of name. So what is the length of name here? Python programming. So even space will be calculated. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So length is 18. So range means 0 comma length of name. So 0 comma 18. So 18 is excluded. We'll take up to 17 like that. Okay. So you can define in many ways how to define a range. Okay. So here there is another example for I in range 0 comma length of name, name of I. So here I'm targeting about indexing. So name of 0, name of 1, name of 2, name of 3 like that. Okay. So you can use either way how to define your loops. Okay. So for example, if I take name equal to, let us take same example, name equal to Python program. Okay, so name equal to Python programming for I in range. For I in range. Okay, so for I in range, what are we saying? Length of name. Okay, so that's what, right? So 0 comma length of name. So initially I'm giving starting from 0 comma length of name colon. Okay, so print I. So 0 to 17 you can see clearly. Why? Because total we have 18. So I will consider up to 17. Why? Because 18 is excluded. Okay, so I'm starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 17. Okay, so in this way I can use for loop by calculating the range. So if I say name of I, so print name of I. So what do I get now? So every character, see, PYTHON space PROGRAMMING. So name of I gives indexing of each and every character. Okay. So I hope you understood the example. So a simple definite loop. So for I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, print I. So you can write. This iterates through this list. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is list. For I in list everyone. So for example, for I in, so let us write for I in. I'm writing a list here 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so don't forget to put semicolon. So print I. Okay, so if I execute this, what happens? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's what. So after that, print blast off will be printed. So if we print okay, so if I execute this, so every time you can see the indentation how it works. So what's happening here? It comes to loop. I am printing 5 will be printed. After that, blast off will be printed. So see how indentation works here. So if I write print here, okay, so you can see now. After 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off is printed. So you can see how Python strictly considers indentation. Okay, so I hope you understood the example. So a definite loop with strings. So I can also take strings here. So friends equal to Joseph, Glenn, Sally. For friend in friends, print Happy New Year, friend. So it will wish everyone. So Happy New Year, Joseph. Happy New Year, Glenn. Happy New Year, Sally. Okay. So let's take it. So friends equal to Rajesh. Okay. Next, for friend in friends. Okay, for friend in friends. So what I'm doing here, print hi friend. Okay, so hi friend. Done. So what I got, hi Praveen, hi Rajesh, hi Mohan, and after completion of this for loop, done is printed. Okay, so I'm taking, I can also take strings here, Praveen, Rajesh, and Mohan in a list. Okay, so it's a group of strings for friend in friends. Okay, so it will be traversed throughout the list. Print hi, comma friend. So every time it will print hi Praveen, next hi Rajesh, next hi Mohan, and finally done will be printed. So this is one sort of an example. So that's what we have defined here. So looking at in, so for I in, so this is the iteration variable. This is 5 element sequence. So it will check in each and every element, and that element will be printed. Okay. So that's what we are showing it in a diagrammatic manner, pictorial representation. Okay. So iteration variable iterates through the sequence ordered set. The block of code is executed once for each value in the sequence. the iteration variable moves through all the values in the sequence. Okay, so first I equal to 5, next I equal to 4, I equal to 3, I equal to 2, I equal to 1, and finally the I will be printed. Okay, so program to find the sum of all numbers stored in a list. So let me take some numbers: 6, 5, 3, 8, 4, 2, 5, 4, 11. Okay, so variable to store the sum. So first initially I should assign sum equal to 0. So we should iterate over the list for val in numbers. Sum equal to sum plus val. The sum is sum. Okay, so it is very easy, right? So nums equal to, so like 6, 4, 1. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm assigning sum equal to 0. Okay, for val in nums. Okay, so what I'm doing for val in nums, sum equal to sum plus val. Okay, sum equal to sum plus val. So I'm printing that. Print the sum is comma sum. So if I execute this, what happens? So sum is 16. 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 2, 15, 15 plus 1, 16. Okay, the sum is 16. So program to iterate through a list using indexing. So we can also iterate through index. So for example, if I say genre equal to pop, rock, jazz, so iterate over the list using index. For I in range, length of genre. So the length will be obviously 3. So I like genre of 0. So I like pop, I like rock, I like jazz. So I'll get the 3. Okay. So program to display student marks from the record. So let us take student name equal to something. And I have taken a dictionary here. So this is called dictionary. So it's a key value pair. So dictionary always in the form of key. This is key and this is value. So this is key, this is value. So dictionary is always in the form of key value pairs. So for student in marks, if student equal to student underscore name. Okay. So print marks of student. So do we have any student name in this? We don't have Soyuz in James, Jules, and Arthur. Okay, so which one will be printed here? Else part will be printed. So no entry with that name found. So for example, if we take James here, if James equal to James, then what marks does James have? So marks of student. So marks of James is 90. So 90 will be printed here. Okay. So nested loops. So we can write the loops within loops. Like in for loop, we can write another for loop. Okay. So this statement is executed for this for loop, and this statement is executed for this for loop. Okay. This is called nested loop. For the same manner, while within while. Okay. So this statement is for this while, and these statements are for this while. Okay. So here we'll check for, is this the last element of the outer loop? If not, we should go for the inner loop. Okay. So we should check whether is this the last element. If yes, then again we go for the outer loop. If no, the inner loop statements are executed. So if there is no nothing is there, then end of the outer loop will be executed like this. Okay. So this is the final example for nested loops. So that we covered while loop, examples of while loop, for loop, examples of for loop, and next is nested loops. Okay. See, we want to print this sequence. Okay, so for I in range of 5. So range of 5 in the sense, what will we take? The start is 0. The stop is 5 in the sense it will consider up to 4. Okay. So for j in range of I. So the range of I is 0 to 4. Okay. Print star and equal to space. So print slash n. So slash n means new line. Okay. So let's execute this. So for I in range of 5, so you can see how it follows indentation. For j in range of I, okay, you can see the indentation, how it's following. So after for, you can see the space over there. So this spider automatically follows the indentation when we press enter. Okay, so for j in range of I, so print star comma end equal to space. Okay, So after that, after this is over, we'll come to the end loop. So this print is for this inner for loop. Now we should print slash n for the outer for loop. Print slash n. Okay. Okay, sorry. So if you see, the sequence will be printed. Okay, you can observe here. So print star and equal to space. So our sequence we got. So in this way we can use nested loop. So we can also use nested while loops also. Okay, so this is an example for nested for loop. So I hope you clearly understood the concepts of while loop with examples, for loop with examples, and nested loops. Okay, so the students who are watching my channel for the first time, I request you to please subscribe my channel and please share my videos to your friends and well-wishers, and please support my channel in all possible ways. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.